Hey folks, Practical Prepper 001 here. Or perhaps I should change my name to Practical Survivalist slash Prepper slash Bushman slash Camper, etc. 001 to meet 10 basic requirements in being a prepper. Now, I must have, missed the memo or something. I didn't know we had requirements or qualifications to being, being a prepper. I remember a few years back reading about, I think her name was Granny or something or other. This old lady, she was about 60 something years old back in the 70s, and she used to hike the Appalachian Trail. That's about 1,000 something miles of hiking, through the woods and all that. And all she had was Pro Kids, kind of like Converse sneakers. And for a sack or backpack, she used a pillowcase. And she hiked this thing quite a few times. And when they asked her, Granny, why don't you use brand gear or this specific equipment or that? And she simply said, I didn't know I had to. The point is, you can't depend, you can't rely, you can't run your life by what others say is the proper way, is the only way. There is no proper way, there is no only way. I don't believe in experts. I believe in professionals. In the sense of be a professional, do the best in all that you do, in all that you got. I mean, with whatever you got. I learn more from a homeless, than I do from so-called TV or experts. That doesn't mean I don't enjoy watching those shows or reading the books or the magazines or the magazine articles, etc. But I'm saying when I have talked to homeless people. I have a specific question or anything in mind. I go and I ask them, this and that. How do you sleep? Where do you sleep? Where do you hide? Where do you keep your belongings, etc. And that doesn't mean I'm gonna live like them. That doesn't mean I want to live like them. I don't judge. So I'm just simply learning, either what to do or what not to do. That's it. So I become my own expert. Yankeeprepper's video on requirements, off the bat. I mean, to come up and say, 3 years ago or whatever, that he opened his YouTube account and pretty much almost like he coined or invented or whatever you want to call it, the prepper. I know what he meant, people. I mean, I saw the whole video. I know what he means. But it's it's bullshit. All right. If I'm gonna worry about what the media labels me, labels me or anybody else for that matter, I mean, this is a wrong business. This is a wrong community. This is a wrong place. You talk about you're way out. Because as far as I can remember, since I was 16. I'm talking about like in a formal. I mean, my whole life, my parents, my family, they've always, you tell them, prepping, and most of them will look at you like, what the hell does that mean? But yet, when you look at, they have food stored, and it's just a way of life. It's not even there's no need for a label, But I don't have a problem sometimes with some labels, whatever, I mean, we try to get away from things, and it's the way life is, in reality, the real world. That's how people are, We all do that. We all have prejudices. We all have, things based on experience or perceptions, etc. This is not what this video is about. As far as I remember, since I was 16, I consider myself a survivalist. Back then the media, the image that they painted was skinheads, neo-Nazi, or the Christian identity movement, Aryan Nation. Then on the other side, it was the doom and gloom types. The Big Brother is gonna come, the UN is gonna come and take our guns away, etc. That doesn't mean there's not an element of truth in all that. Yeah, but I'm not Chicken Little. I'm not gonna run around. Oh, the sky is falling. The sky is falling. I mean, forget about it. a few years back, I used to, every year, me and a few friends, we used to get together in, in groups and all that. Learn bushcraft skills, survival skills, camping. Just get together and, EDC. Talk about EDC and discuss what's in your bag. If you're gonna bug out, or you're gonna bug in, and et cetera, et cetera. And that's when I first heard the term prepper. And I was thinking, like, okay, overall, I'm more of a survivalist than a prepper, but I do prep. I do have things, So if you're gonna label me, then okay, prepper, survivalist, that's fine. As far as being there being a guideline or requirements or some kind of qualifications for you to be one, that's insane. That's ridiculous. Okay. Some of the things he said, pretty much almost qualified for everything except for the last one, which is, he touched upon, very little. Even though he said it was the most important thing, it was believing in God, having faith. Well, I used to be a born-again Christian. I'm not anymore. I believe in, I have a philosophy of God. And that's what I base my life upon. I have no need to recruit anybody or convert anybody. And on the same token, I appreciate people don't try to do the same with me. I know the Bible pretty much front to back. If I cannot remember something, I can look it up and I'll show you, But that's not what, I mean, the reason I brought God up because, if you're going to profess to be a Christian, if you're going to profess to, read the Bible, what it says. There is contradiction there about being a prepper and survivalist and believing in Christ, being a follower of Christ. You read Matthew 6:24, I think it is, where it talks about, don't worry about tomorrow, don't worry about the food you're going to eat, don't worry about the clothes on your back, because God takes care of all that. To do that is going to the way of the pagans or the Gentiles. So, come on, don't be a hypocrite, okay? I don't care. I live in the real world. The way I see it, whether we like it or not, we're going to have to rely on each other. If we're going to make it, in different situations, you're going to rely on me and I'm going to have to rely on you. So, for me, Thomas Jefferson put it best, whether, it does me no harm whether my neighbor says there is 20 gods or there is no God. It doesn't matter, okay? That's it. That's my point on the religious issue. Most of my friends are Christians. I love Christians. I don't have a problem. Whether you're atheist, Christian, Muslim, I even got a couple of Muslim friends. I have quite a few Jewish friends. Buddhist. My wife is a Buddhist. And like I said, it doesn't reflect or affect me in any way or other, unless your actions go elsewhere with that. Now, he touched upon, having friends, hiding out, learning how to cook, and being happy. Well, of all people, videos that I watch, I got into his videos, I say about a year ago, or maybe a year and a half ago, more or less. And they were actually, he does make good videos when it pertains to prepping and all that. When it comes to philosophy and all that, we disagree. I'm not gonna spend my time, what do you call it? Hitting a thumbs down or leaving a negative comment or even leaving any comment. Apparently, it is what he wants to hear, but it's his channel. That's his prerogative. He could do whatever he wants in his channel. Same way I'm doing what I do in my channel. Everybody has their own opinion. Everybody has their own style. Hey, more power to us. That's why you see the flag behind me. That's what it stands for. Now, a lot of people, they just wanna, it's either jump on the bandwagon and hate on Yankeeprepper or jump on the other bandwagon, kissing his ass. Either way, I could care less. I'll take pointers, like I said, from the homeless, from the experts, from the the wannabe experts, the ones who are legends in their own mind. It doesn't bother me. Like, one thing he said, and he's absolutely correct, in the scope of things, you're nobody. You're not that important. The ATF is not going to come on you if you're not doing anything illegal, etc., etc., etc. Which Regardless of my views towards authority, it's just common sense. You break the rules. I mean, we live in this society. We have rules. Whatever society you live in, you have rules. You break them, they're gonna come and they're gonna break you. So, I'm law abiding as much as I can. In the future, there's a revolution, there's something like that going on, which I hope and I pray to God there isn't one. I'm not I can't wait for the shit hit the fan so I could try my gear. No. I already, throughout my life, in several occasions, I have lived through shit hit the fan situations of our own. So it's not something I'm looking forward to. That's where, half of the things he said, I do agree. Like, happiness, what is the point of surviving or making it through any calamity or catastrophe if it's not to survive? And by survive, I don't mean just survive. I want to thrive. I want to be happy with my family, my loved one, my friends, etc. And but I mean, everything else, if you take it on exactly what he said, in my opinion, you're on the path to doom. I mean, you can't see, like, I'm ready to. I mean, if I had to, I will bug out. I'm ready. I got my bug out bag. But that doesn't mean I wanna. That's not my plan. That's plan B, plan C, plan D. You can't survive simply because you're the strongest, you're the smartest, you're the prettiest, and you have the best gear and all that. It doesn't work that way. In nature, in history, human history, those who survive are the ones who are able to adapt to any situation. To me, the two perfect examples in nature of survival is cockroaches and rats, or mice. Rats. They adapt. They could live in the cold. They could live in the heat. They could live everywhere in between. They adapt to. They eat anything and everything. That doesn't mean I want to be a rat or a roach, but I'm just using it as an example. Now everybody, nobody wants to use that as a symbol, right? Everybody wants a tiger or an eagle and all that, and yet, there you go, endangered species. So I hope you understand my point here. So, I mean, you don't worry so much about whether he blocks you, deletes you. I could care less. I unsubbed myself, a while back, for the simple fact that he stopped making good videos. By good, I mean what I like. I'm not gonna, it's kind of like to throw another popular name out there, not unfancy, If it's not doing a gear review on something that I like or I enjoy, I don't bother. I mean, let's admit it, the guy's a dork. He wants to make videos of running around. Oh, look how cool I am, and look at all my friends, and everybody worships me. Oh, and by the way, here's a T-shirt, and I'm selling a baseball cap. Go ahead and pander that to somebody else. I'm not gonna do that. Like I said, I don't waste my time with that. I just skip along and I go to what I like, which I'm sure that's what most people do with some of my videos. That doesn't mean every video I make is great. Well, I'm not Steven Spielberg over here, with a professional camera equipment and a script, In the future, I might get something, better gear and all that. And I'm here simply to learn from others. And in the process, hopefully, I can also share what I know or my own experience with others, And that's what I mean when I say like-minded individuals or like-minded community, There's always going to be haters. There's always going to be, positive people. There's always going to be negative people. I stay away from the negative. I stay away from the haters, as much as I can. That doesn't mean, it always works out that way. But, so anyways, I hope you enjoyed this video. And this is Practical Prepper 001, out of sight, not out of mind. Take care, guys.